So hello friends, Kuyan here, and hey, we're going to go back and like reacting and stuff more about learning Afghanistan and stuff. So I'm actually pretty interested about this to learn about like the Afghanistan food and like what their culture is going to be, like what their foods are even based off. That I'm actually pretty interested like how this country has been going through all of them, you know, like all of the major powers of the world, like the British Empire, the Russian Soviets, and the American stuff. So they've been through everything, man. It's actually very interesting. It's kind of sad like how they also like so destroyed the Buddha statue and stuff that happens in the past. It's actually pretty sad. I never got to see that. Yeah, there's actually a video in the future that I'm going to have that after the recording of this. So yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to this, friends. Hopefully you can leave a subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can support me from this type of videos. So thank you for all your support, friends. So let's get right into the video.
Is bolani. It costs only 28 cents, and I found it here in Afghanistan's biggest outdoor market.
Today I'm on a mission to hunt down the street foods most of the world will never taste.
This isn't typical Western rotisserie chicken. All the grilling is going to be done vertically.
In a country wrapped in mystery and headlines.
Cheers.
No, this is around.
Armed with only a permission slip,
Pleasure meeting you.
I aim to navigate some of the most challenging corners of this city.
There was just a giant turret on the back parked across the street.
And by the end of it all, I'll come face to face with a heaping portion of Afghanistan's national dish, with an unexpected side of Taliban oversight.
I don't.
Man, this reminds me a lot of like my hometown, man, here in the Philippines. It literally looked like there's like a lot of people around, and you have marketplaces and stuff. You have children like selling food because unfortunately they don't have like a lot of money. You know, the children have to have their own like type of ways to unfortunately like sell and stuff. And unfortunately, I actually part of that life too. Like, I guess I have like a lot of responsibilities when it comes to like to my parents and stuff too. So yeah, it's a pretty tough world, man. Tough world.
Kabul, a place where a wrong turn down maze-like back alleys could lead you to an unwanted checkpoint with you-know-who. Here among the chaotic streets, one smell cuts through the diesel and dust. Bolani is Afghanistan's most wanted street fight. To make it, first a vendor plunges bare hands into a metal basin, water, wheat flour, and salt. He kneads fast in anticipation of the crowd soon to form. Dough balls hit the counter, flattened into discs the size of a steering wheel.
It's like
Next
pizza.
comes the covert cargo, mashed potato, blitzed with cumin, turmeric, masala, and a shake of red chili flakes.
Wow, that tastes so good. If you know me, I love potatoes. Oh my god, I love potatoes. And you add turmeric on it. Wow, this actually tastes so good. Because here in the Philippines, you only have bread. That's it. You have bread, but it's also good bread. You know, we call it pan de sal and stuff. And you have cheese sometimes, but that's pretty rare and stuff. But yeah, this is good. Yeah, it's pretty nutritious actually.
He slides each part
In the Philippines, I'm actually very sad because we only have bread and that's it. Like this have like toppings and stuff. This is like a pizza, a semi-pizza.
of screaming oil. No thermometers, no alarms or timers. But 30 seconds too long and the whole batch burns.
And just like that, our $100 challenge has begun here in Afghanistan. Guys, hold on. There's a whole small village of Afghan men who have just arrived to my set. The extras are late. They're supposed to be in the background pretending to work. Now, if I'm honest, the chance of me hitting $100, it's 50-50. The food here, kind of on the cheap.
It's kind of interesting because here in the Philippines, we kind of like largely ignore people who are recording. We just mind their business, and like if you see like a lot of vloggers, they just like roam around. It's actually very interesting. Like Afghanistan people are more curious and checking out and stuff.
Side. This is the more expensive version of this dish, and it's still really cheap. For all you see, this big doughy masterpiece, 30 Afghanis. But other vendors on the street, they're selling it for 10. So that's almost 10 cents. Ridiculous. Let's get into this. If you flip it on this side, you can actually see the seam, like looking at the center of your jeans. I'm just gonna eat it straight up. My first bite. Cheers.
Oh my god, that looks so beautiful, man. Oh man, I'm so hungry right now.
At first he fries it, it gets a little crispy, and he stacks them on top of each other that they start to kind of steam each other, so it gets soft in the end. Aside from the fried bread, you taste the potato inside. I think the potato is meant to give it some body, but if you really want some more flavor, you have to use this chutney over here.
Oh, soup. I thought you put like I thought you put the sauce within the food.
Ooh, that's explosive. I'm told it has coriander, garlic, green chilies, and tomato. It is really brutally spicy. I kind of like it though. So I'm gonna give my bread a little bit of a dip.
Oh yeah, you dip it.
Dipping it in the chutney is a completely different experience. It really scorches your throat. Meanwhile, it gets the bread
Oh, man.
soggy, which I don't hate.
Man, this is so brutal. I made a mistake here, friends. I shouldn't like watch this video. Very hungry because I am hungry. I didn't eat yet. Like, so this is not good. This is not gonna end for me well.
If this is too spicy and you need some sweet relief, they've got this right here. This is like the bomb right here, and this is the bomb squad. Too many bomb references, I think, for where I am right now.
Meet Duk-e-Khair, Afghanistan's unofficial air conditioner in a cup.
Ah,
First, the sting of diced cucumber hits the bottom of a tall glass. Next comes a scoop of thick, creamy yogurt, followed by liquid yogurt mixed with dried minced mint.
oh,
If you've ever had tzatziki sauce from Turkey, that kind of yogurt sauce that has cucumber and garlic inside, it's kind of like that. Cold, cool, refreshing. That is the perfect pair to go with this super fiery chutney soup over here.
This isn't the only improvised edible device we'll be dealing with today.
oh my god. The terrorist jokes are getting me too. It's actually crazy.
And more street-side dishes, including Afghanistan's national dish, a truly gigantic ticking protein bomb waiting for us at the end of this video.
I'm actually very fascinated, like, what are the national food of, like, a country, you know? But I've watched the Mexico part of, like, you know, I guess, from geography now, from the Mexico video. It's actually very interesting. Like, I wonder if taco really is their national dish and stuff, you know? I never actually, like, learned that. But here in the Philippines, our national dish is lechon. It's usually just a very large pig where you roast the entire pig and stuff. That's lechon and stuff. So yeah, we can also like take a slice on it, and you also can call it lechon. And there's like a lot of varieties of lechon, because you can also like make lechon paksiw, which is usually like vinegar and stuff, which you can put lechon. You can also fry the lechon. So yeah, even after like birthdays, if you have a very huge pig and stuff, from, you know, barbecuing the entire pig body and stuff, you can also like try after like each party, you can also like take some parts that are still unfinished and you can recook them. It's like a very good dish. I love the recook of the lechon rather than the raw lechon after, like, you know, getting on the birthday parties, because they're kind of mildly raw. I don't actually like prefer it that way.
Of the day, I want to give you a little bit of an update of how things are going
man.
here in Afghanistan. Now, yesterday was our first day out in the city. I didn't know what to expect, but actually in the end, everything went better than I thought it would have. People were very curious. The general population seemed pretty okay with us filming them. Nobody really were trying to shut what we're doing down. There's a lot of people here for me to talk about the Taliban, but what I'm told is a big difference from before and after the Taliban took over here is that now there's a lot more regulation and there is more checkpoints.
Also, this is after. Is this after? So it seems like afterwards. So this is now without the American in the ground. So it's actually very interesting. So they finally like pull off from Afghanistan.
Can I talk about this? It's like
Sounds good and safe. It's safer than it used to be.
it's much safer now.
Yeah.
A gentleman in the crowd. You're from Kabul?
From Kabul.
Since arriving, I've heard from several locals that the country has become much safer since the Taliban took over. Maybe that's because the group that was once terrorizing the state is now the state. Though it makes me wonder, what's the safety being traded for?
We have worked our way deeper into Mandawi Market, and this place is
Hey,
wild.
Mandawi? Like here in the Philippines, we also have Mandawi. So I'm actually pretty curious. That's also like, I don't know which part of that. Actually, pretty familiar of the word. So I don't know if they're, you know, that's also like Islamic and stuff inspired.
Here there are a bunch of gentlemen who have pre-made a soup. They brought it, and then they scoop it up for patrons who sit down around them like we are right now.
While we're tasting what this city has to offer, I want to show you an offer that's less spicy but more soothing.
Growing up, I thought being strong meant keeping it all inside. You deal with it, you move on, you don't talk about it. At least that was
So I'm just gonna skip this, you know, unfortunate ad.
not weakness,
So,
it's
yes,
growth.
you read it.
Now, back to the show. What I like about this eating style is it's just super quick and on the go. This is our guy right here, Gorban, and that is his delicious soup. This is a dish known as asha duk. It's creamy and there are noodles inside.
These are wheat noodles. They're served in a warm, hearty soup simmered with tender
Here in the Philippines, we don't have like any type of wheat soup and stuff. We just have the noodle soup. I'm pretty sure it's also made in rice. It's not like made in wheat and stuff. So it's actually pretty curious, like, how do you even like have this? It's kind of interesting, like how common like wheat here and stuff. Like they have like a lot of bread and foods too. So it's actually very interesting because there are like, you know, they're kind of like part of like Asian stuff, like Afghanistan and stuff. So yeah, actually pretty curious like why rice isn't very common for them. Because here in the Philippines, you know, rice are mostly like the norm. in here. And bread is pretty rare.
chickpeas, a pinch of salt, and a sprinkle of freshly chopped coriander.
From here, he puts on a couple of other toppings. This is a spicy sour red sauce, similar to Indian achar. And then we have some dry mint as well. The price is about
They really love their mint, huh?
27 cents.
I also love Mint, like Linux Mint. I use Linux Mint as my OS and my computer. So yeah, I didn't actually taste like mint and stuff, especially like cinnamon too, like as I've heard.
Very affordable. The broth is very thick, white, and creamy. And that is a special broth.
It's almost like the Philippine equivalent of, I think it was, actually forgot. I think it was a lomi. We call it lomi, yes. Like a very thick, soupy stuff too. We call it lumi.
Made from something called kashk. It's that becomes hard like chalk, and then they rehydrate it with water, and it becomes a creamy sauce like this. Beyond that, he's got giant spoons that he serves you. And then we have
chickpeas, a pinch of salt, and a sprinkle of freshly chopped coriander.
From here, he puts on a couple of other toppings. This is a spicy sour red sauce, similar to Indian achar. And then we have some dry mint as well. The price is about 27 cents. Very affordable. The broth is very thick, white, and creamy. And that is a special broth made from something called kashk. It's like condensed dairy that becomes hard like chalk. And then they rehydrate.
Ah, very interesting. Very fascinating idea, actually. So this is like a condensed milk. So they try to harden it. I'm pretty sure this is also a way to preserve it. So you can travel like a long distances without like refrigerating the condensed milk. It's actually pretty smart. Very smart.
Hydrate it with water, and it becomes a creamy sauce like this. Beyond that, he's got giant spoons that he.
It's almost like our equivalent of powdered milk here in the Philippines, but unfortunately, that also can get like expiration date. So I wonder like how they even process that, you know, to have like this chalky condensed milk. It's actually kind of crazy to even think about it.
Serves you. I think so. You eat faster and leave faster. Oh yeah, some good competition for Kraft macaroni and cheese. Wow, that bite was mixing with some of that spicy, sour red sauce. It's got some kick. The mint gives it a little bit of an earthy flavor. I can't believe how good it is. In a way, it's kind of like baby food. I mean, the noodles are super soft. You could just press your tongue against the roof of your mouth rather than chewing them. They're that soft. Good? Good. Should we do a little? Nice. Solid hats. All kinds of hats. And the hats kind of denote what region the people are from. As far as I understand, if you see a man and you see his hat, you go, oh, that guy's from that area. What do you think of my bandana? Very cool, or? Yeah, all right, really? Thank you.
Next stop, a street side stall where you can trade a fistful of coins for a feast. This is manto, a food that's usually paired with celebration.
This is a fascinating food because you can find it in so many places. In Korea, they call it mandu. In Kazakhstan, they call it manti.
We also have that. We call it shomai here in the Philippines. I don't know why. It's actually very Chinese, shomai.
Here, they call it manto. All of them are different forms of dumplings.
Yeah, they're dumplings, yeah.
In Seoul, in Kazakhstan, lamb, or even horse. But here, our street side chef rewrites the script, loading each wrapper with sautéed sweet onions. But what these dumplings lack in protein, they make up for with a twisted, chaotic storm of toppings. A heaping spoon of stewed red kidney beans, a glossy drizzle of tangy kashk yogurt sauce, a fiery splash of red pepper chutney, a few shakes of dried
They don't put like protein within the dumplings. They put it outside of the dumplings. It's actually very interesting.
a pinch of salt to fuse the chaos into harmony.
Usually he would serve about 6 dumplings. This is a double portion.
I am so hungry right now. Oh my god.
Bad. I'm gonna give it a try now. I feel a little shy. Saeed's right next to me. He's gonna be watching me.
Oh man, I'm so hungry.
He keeps making me shake his wrist. I want to shake his hand. The fillings are almost imperceptible. It is very salty. The wheat wrapper is nice. It's got a little bit of bite to it. Everything else, it's very sour. That spicy sour sauce that we had previously on the soup, they're putting the same thing on top of here, and it really dominates all the flavor.
I won't be surprised because, you know, I guess parts of Afghanistan is also part of India, and India has a lot of spices and stuff. So actually pretty interesting. Like I always like fascinated about India and stuff. I love India, man. Like they have like a lot of Hindu traditions, like Buddhism too. Like I love, but also like the spice in it. My god, the spice in there. Like I even love like I think it's called chicken curry because I didn't know that curry like it's part of like Indian food. Like man, I love chicken curry.
And see the interior. There's potentially some onion in there. There are some tricks of the trade when you're trying to make a food very affordable like this, but very flavorful. What he's lacking in flavor that you might be getting from meat or dumba, he's trying to make up for it with all the masalas and chutneys. Dashakor. Thank you. How about the hand? Yes.
That's a beautiful way to say thank you. Gachako? Interesting.
Oh, like this? I was doing it around the whole time. All right, folks, it is 12:44. It is lunchtime, and this is a substantial feast. It's liver.
Oh, so those are like their breakfast and stuff. So this is like their lunch.
First of all, my guy right here has the big tawa. I guess that's what you would call it in India. On the side, French fries. Potentially, I'm in the way. No? When he prepares this for each person, he puts the liver in the center, and he combines it with a couple of special ingredients. Let's see if he'll do it now for us. So now he brings the liver to the center. He takes some of the grease that the fries are frying in. Boom! Minced garlic, just like that. He minced.
Yes, garlic is a Filipino. You put garlic on food, everything. You put everything with garlic.
This is the chili into tiny little pieces. That is pure
chili. I'm not good. I'm not pretty fan of chilies, unfortunately.
flavor. The tomatoes and the liver. Those are the main ingredients for everything you see here. It goes.
But man, tomatoes are like my thing, man. Oh my god. Also, livers are actually pretty healthy and stuff. They have a lot of proteins and a lot of vitamins. Here in the Philippines, we only have ilog, which is basically chicken liver. Man, it's a kind of a hit or miss because just like a soup and then the liver and then the egg. That's it. But this is so colorful. Oh my god. You have a liver and a tomato with a garlic and fried. Wow.
Goes on the plate. Cabbage. He hits it with a little bit of dry masala and then he hands it to his customer, which is me. Sir? Where do you? Sir? Tashakur. Thank you. Right here we have our most substantial food of the day. That is jigar. Also, a new bread just dropped. This looks very similar to the bread we saw baked in the bakery in the last video. It even has the perforated stripes here for easy tearing, and it has the same texture. It just has a different kind of oblong shape to it. Let's talk about the price. This should be our most expensive dish of the day because it's full of meat. This right here is coming in at a wild 98 cents. That's it.
Ah, interesting. So meat is not really common there. Interesting. Because here in the Philippines, meat is pretty everywhere, like chicken and stuff. Chickens and pork is probably the most common here in the Philippines. Beef, not so much. In the American side, beef is like their American style, you know, the cheeseburgers and stuff. But here, it's kind of interesting. Like there's like a lot of vegetables, a lot of proteins too. That which I actually love. Like a lot here in the Philippines, it's just kind of like mild. I guess I don't like much of the food, especially like the street food and stuff, because they're more like a lot of processed food, and they're not like a lot of vegetables mixed within those food. You know what I mean? So they're just like very monotonous when it comes to like, especially like barbecue and stuff. They don't like add anything parts of the barbecue. But here in this case, like they have the meat and they have like a lot of like vegetables on top of it. So that's actually what I always love to prefer. That's why I love like chicken curry and stuff, because there's like a lot of actually like vegetables and meat within it. Like I don't know why in our foods and stuff we always kind of separate the vegetable and the meat. Like you only have the meat with sauce on it, or you have the vegetables and sauce on it. Or sometimes the fish, you know, you have fish, sauce on it, and with the vegetables, which is actually not a good combination because fish are very bland if you put it on a soup. But if you put the vegetables within, you know, the meat with the sauce on it, like that would, you know, taste much better.
It's pretty remarkable. We've got bread, we've got a micro salad, and we've got a lot of animal liver, all for under $1.
Man, I would actually love to like cook like this for my wife someday. Hopefully, I'm still single. But yeah, I would actually love to like taste, like try to experiment like a lot of food from other places. So it would be very interesting.
Not a bad deal. My first move right here, tear the bread. Oh, it's so satisfying. This is our utensil right here. There we go. Looking nice and greasy. Cheers.
In the Philippines, we only use our hands. We don't have other utensils. You either like clump the rice and the, you know, the, I guess the meaty stuff, and then put it in our mouth. But we wash our hands first, obviously. And sometimes we use the spoon and stuff. So yeah, Filipino style.
Not bad. You know, liver can be dry. It can be even chalky sometimes. That's pretty good. Pretty moist, very seasoned, super heavy and greasy. Liver, especially mutton liver, not my absolute favorite food, but what he's done here, it's nice. Aside from the liver, they just give you a little side of cabbage here. No. I tried to do a cheers with this guy. I got denied. Cheers?
No, this is haram.
I didn't know that's haram, just to cheers.
I didn't know that's haram. Interesting.
In here. Is there? That would be nice. No, just yogurt drink. So far we've had 4 foods, and honestly, I don't think
that's an interesting culture stuff. didn't know that they're not allowed to, cheers and stuff. I think it does make sense because cheering is a part of like beers and stuff. Like you only cheer with the beer. So I can understand why it is haram in their
We've
sense.
even cracked $2, but I am not stopping now. We must keep moving food by food.
I don't know if that's also haram here in the Philippines because there are like Muslim parts here in the Philippines. So I wonder if that's also not allowed for them to like cheers with their cup and stuff.
Until we hit $100 in Afghanistan. Boom, we're on to our next street food right here. A curious combination of 3 ingredients: green onion, boiled potato, and right here some boiling chickpeas. That is going to be the main body for this dish. Let's get into it. It all starts with a bowl. He puts in some boiled shredded potato. He moves over to here. He grabs some chickpeas. Next, green onions going on top. Now it's time for the flavor. Let's put it up here. I'll hold it for you. He puts on a little bit of red chutney, dry masala, and finally some salt. Wait, there's more? The final step, something I've not seen used yet today, white vinegar. All of that combined makes one of the most unique salads you'll find, at least here on this street. There's so many people here now. What's happening? Thank you, sir. Boom! Food number 1,000. I'm not sure where we are.
A lot of like other countries are always like very fascinated if they're like a foreigner and stuff. So if there's a black person or a white person, we're always like fascinated, like, whoa, a black person. Like, whoa, a white person. And all white person that I've ever seen are very, very tall. So that's always like fascinated me. I only like encountered one black person, like one black, like pure black person here in the Philippines, and it's on Davao City when I was visiting with my parents. When it comes to like white foreigners, I'm pretty sure there's like 20 or probably 20 to 25 that I've been seeing. They're pretty common.
I lost track. Luckily, I have these people helping me. Hi, how you doing? This right here is a curious combination of ingredients. I mean, the main body of the food would definitely be the chickpeas, but then there's that potato underneath, soaking up all that flavor.
Oh,
now,
man, all the potatoes. Give me all the potatoes.
as far as seasoning,
There's a lot of like Irish people are also salivating from this because potatoes are so good, man. The potatoes, even though they're actually poisonous, like potatoes are actually very poisonous. But I'm pretty sure potato can also be planted everywhere in the world, so they're pretty resistant too, unless you have like the blight and stuff in the past. But hopefully they're now resistant from that.
seasonings go, anything wet, they call it a chutney. Anything dry, they call it masala. From there, they don't really sweat the details. I'm gonna get this combination, a little bit of potato, a little bit of chickpea. I think it's gonna be super sour from that apple cider vinegar. Let's give it a shot.
Wow.
Oh, not what I expected at all. That's pretty good. It's simple, but it's like comfort food. Considering you put in chutney and vinegar, I thought it was going to be really sour, like some of the dishes I've had here. But it's not sour at all. This liquid here, it's become like a broth. That's, I think, from those...
Kind of fast, like how much a lot of people are now like watching him. Like they collectively like immediately like try to watch him.
Super
Very interesting.
satisfying. The food we had yesterday, the kale poche, like pure fat, that's energy packed in a different way. This is energy packed with beans, carbs, but it's not doused in animal fat. Overall, a big surprise. You got to give it up.
This is why I love like vegetable stuff like this. If you cook it right, obviously. But some of the Filipino food, man, especially from the vegetable side, they're not actually cooked that well.
As an American walking among Afghans in Mandawi Market, I really don't blend in.
It's kind of interesting. I think the word Mandawi seems like an eagle stuff. Does it mean eagle?
A lot of folks here speak English, and when they ask me where I'm from, their reactions range from enthusiastic to shocked. But Afghans are well aware of how their country is perceived by the rest of the world, and many are hungry to share a different, more hopeful story.
You're from Afghanistan.
Absolutely.
Are there many Americans that come here as tourists?
Few, but most of British people come here.
If somebody comes here, they're a tourist.
Yeah, because I think majority of like Afghanistan are part of the British Empire, I think, from the past.
American. That's okay?
It's okay. We feel proud to have tourism around us. So they could explore our country or get our message to their country or to their relative countries. So it's great.
And what is your message?
Our message is to come here and explore our country. It's a very good country and the people are good. They are kind. And
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like a lot of like people within the country, especially like a lot of conflict, the people are always just like they're trying to live, man. I always like wonder like why are the Taliban like, I guess pretty powerful within their country. I always like wonder that.
they are very generous people.
Pleasure meeting you.
Same here, same here.
Take care. We have our next street food right here, and this is a wild one. This time instead of liver, we have cow stomach. That's right. The minced stomach is already coated with a dry seasoning blend with over 10 spices. And then he adds in
Here in the Philippines, stomach, we don't eat a lot of pig stomach and stuff, but the most common is usually like the chicken stomach, which is the chicken intestine. But the majority of way of eating it is usually like barbecue and stuff. But here, this is actually very fascinating. They fried the cow stomach. It's actually very fascinating, like how cow seems to be pretty common for them there.
And that's it. I'm gonna order right now and see what happens. First, he brings out some of the stomach, he heats it up, he puts it on the plate, he gives it a bit of a smash, boom, and there it is. If I'm honest, I thought there was gonna be more steps. All right, folks, let's get into it. Cow stomach.
Oh, that's a cool butterfly, I guess, folder.
It's not pretty, but it's not meant to be. Come take a look. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, the cow stomach is a very fatty organ, so if you hit it against some hot steel, it could get kind of crunchy. It could create a nice Maillard reaction. So I'm gonna break some bread, and we scoop up some of that meat. That is something
They always have bread, man. Kind of interesting, like they don't have rice.
intense looking meat. Let's give it a shot. It's like Afghan chitlins. I don't hate it. This is not a food for the uninitiated. If your favorite food is Chipotle, this is not gonna be for you. It's got some game to it. It would knock most Americans on their feet. There's some smoky flavors in there. There's some fattiness. It's very rich. They got these little masala ashtrays on all the tables. It looks like craters inside because every guy who's been in here before you has been putting their fingers directly into the masala and putting it onto their food. But all right, this is the Afghan way. I wanna hit it with some of this. I believe this is cumin and a little bit of salt too. Jump on board the masala train, my friends. A little bit more punch. I like it. This would pair perfectly with beer. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to find one nearby. Can I? That should be the ultimate conquest of this series.
These little meat
I'm pretty sure that's not always allowed in a lot of like very harsh Islamic, rules.
morsels didn't make a dent in my wallet, so I need to search out something bigger, what some might call the culinary pride of Afghanistan.
You see, other restaurants, you might go and just get some rice. But here, on top of that rice, they're going to give you a big chunk of meat like what you see here.
Please. Please. Here in the Philippines, we just cook rice. That's it. That's our fried rice. Kind of put like garlic on it. Okay, the garlic is good. Put a little bit of margarine and that's it. That's it. This is why I love my dad when he cooks fried rice. He adds a little bit of like corned beef on it. He also adds a little bit of, I guess, hot dog on it, which is usually, chicken hot dogs and stuff. It's actually so good, man. Like I don't know why we don't put any meat. This is why we always have a weird separation between like vegetables or like grouping and stuff, while we always separate that from the meat and stuff. Why can't we just combine it in a beautiful harmonic way? It's kind of weird, like how we separate that.
But before that, I'm headed to a place where chicken is roasted upright, like soldiers in formation. Here, men tend the grill, and men line up to eat. So where are the women?
Here's the situation. You read a lot of stuff about the gender situation in Afghanistan before you come here, and then it's a little bit different once you get here.
When the US withdrew and the Taliban took over in 2021,
So this is like after the US withdrew.
they implemented something called Sharia law, a strict Islamic legal system that even outlaws music. I heard women can only travel with a male relative, but at least in Kabul, I've seen women moving alone and with other women.
On the streets so far, I've noticed maybe 20% of the people are women. Not all of them have to be covered up. I mean, there's women walking around just with the hijab on, and there's plenty walking around with what they call the Afghan burqa. I'm not sure what the rules are. I think they have to wear some kind of covering, but it doesn't have to be a burqa.
I heard girls don't receive secondary education, and that's true. Some say the Taliban is just waiting to create the appropriate curriculum, while others admit it'll likely never happen. What's clear is that any topics around women are extremely sensitive.
I met a family today who was Afghan British. They're from the UK, but they came back to visit Afghanistan. They knew my channel.
That's actually very fascinating. I don't know why that rule exists to begin with. Like, I don't know why like Islamic laws are always a little bit harsh when it comes to like women and stuff. Even like Christianity, well, in Christianity, it's not actually that harsh and stuff. Like we always like just okay for women to just do their own thing. But it's always like very bad for them to, I guess, have promiscuous and stuff, like ways of like having sexy, I guess, clothing and stuff. But that's typically like a lot of like Christians are so like pretty okay with that. So it's actually very interesting why they are very, very harsh, or why the belief of like women are always like, restricted within their religion. I'm actually very curious about that. Why?
Said hello, and I said, hey, could I take some video of you?
Can you comment below to give me some guidance on that? Can you help me understand?
And the mother wearing a
Comment down below.
no, it's against the rules. So evidently, there are some rules.
We ourselves have been told and warned many times not to even film women. By the rules of those who have permitted us to film here, it's like they'd prefer you to not even know Afghan women exist.
So the issue, I would say, is very complicated. From here, I intend to take on Afghanistan's national dish, a dish known as halal. We're headed there, not next, but after that. I thought I'd seen chicken grilled every way possible around the world, but that was until I came here to Afghanistan.
The Afghan way of grilling chicken starts with a pool of marinade made of yogurt, MSG, salt, dried ginger, red chili.
They're really into yogurt and stuff, man. Here in the Philippines, I don't even know yogurt exists. I was shocked I was even like culture shocked when the first time I only heard about yogurt existing is in American cartoon movies. Yeah, I was like shocked. Like, why can't we have that as a Filipino? Why don't we have yogurt here? Damn. Like, it's like cow doesn't exist here in the Philippines.
And water. The chickens are soaked in that flavorful bathtub for a couple of hours.
The chicken, already marinated, goes onto this giant steak. One by one, he then ties the string around its ankles, and he tying the string around the chicken's ass. Ugh. This is gonna anchor the chicken to the pole. Now, when preparing this food in Afghanistan, it's important that
I wonder why vertical but not horizontal. Because here in the Philippines, you always cook it horizontal. Even like the way we cook lechon too is always like horizontal ways of like turning around to cook it.
all the chickens are beheaded. I don't make the rules. All right, folks, it is time for the chicken grilling to begin. From here, he pushes each steak down into this dirt and ash. And now that he has finished building his wall of chicken,
I always like wonder like what are limitations and rules in Islamic stuff, like what they can't eat, But the only thing that I am familiar of is that they can't eat pork. That's all the things that I know. Here in the Philippines, I mean, we have no restrictions and stuff. But it's kind of unfortunate that it's very rare for us to eat like, I guess dairy oriented food and stuff. So yeah.
the fire, and get these babies roasted.
Okay. How do they spin though?
When the chicken blazes a molten orange, it's pulled from its vertical spit. Split the chicken open, flatten it onto a rack, then give it a quick grill over charcoal for that extra hit of smoky flavor. Once hot, it's tossed onto a plate where it receives a sprinkle of chicken masala, a bowl of yogurt, and a handful of shredded cabbage.
Wow, you would never believe it, but there was just a giant Ford F-150 with a giant turret on the back parked across the street. All right, welcome to Kabul, baby. What? Chicken. An entire freaking chicken that costs only $4.90. That is how much chickens used to cost in the USA. Now to get that same deal, I have to fly all the way to Kabul. I'm gonna start right here. The breast has no fat. If the breast is juicy, then you know that dark meat's gonna be real nice. Let's give it a shot.
Interesting.
That is one of the driest chicken breasts I've ever had in my life. And the way he's cooked it, he's stuck his tongs in there. He's really flattened it out. And I get it. The goal is to cook it all the way through, but he's really tried it out at the same time. Luckily, I have this yogurt with some herbs and other stuff inside. That is spicy. Oh my God. So that was a bit of a brutal start. Right here we have the chicken thigh. It is much more difficult to mess up a thigh. Well, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a dip in the sauce. That's actually very nice. I would say the two most remarkable things about this are, first of all, the price, but also the way they make it. It's so cool. At this point, I've seen chicken made at least 100 different ways. Even when I was in Thailand with Mark Wiens, they used an oil can.
I didn't know like he's an international like food explorer and stuff. I might actually subscribe to him. I never subscribed yet. So I'm actually very fascinated of like other type of countries that he's been going on and like, learning about their food and culture and stuff. So actually very fascinating. This is what I always wanted, man. I want someone to go there documentary style, like a journalist, and like try to, I guess, like hit me with the food culture and stuff, like all the stuff that I need to learn.
And they use
they put like a cover cooking the chicken. That's interesting.
Grass to burn around those oil cans until the chicken inside cooked all the way through. There is no end to what you can do with a chicken, and this is just more proof of that here in Afghanistan.
Here in the Philippines, we just do it in a barbecue style, horizontally and stuff. So and spinning horizontally and stuff. So that's always good. Like this is why I also love mang inasal and stuff. Like the way we cook their like food and barbecue, like chicken barbecue and stuff, especially like thighs and like it's actually so good. Like I don't know like what type of sauce that they added on it, but it's actually very good. It's very juicy too, and especially like I guess Jollibee Chicken Joy. That's also pretty delicious.
For our Afghan street food finale, I'm visiting a family-run restaurant that's been serving Afghanistan's national dish for 24 years.
We have arrived at our final location where they're serving up a dish known here as palau. But let me back up a second. Central Asia is really known for this food. I've had it in Uzbekistan where they call it plov, and I've also had it in Kazakhstan. But here in Afghanistan,
Here in the Philippines, that doesn't exist, man. I wish we have that. Come on, Philippines. Why don't we have like good fried rice with any type of topping? Like we have chicken, we have pork. Come on, man, you can make it. We don't have that type of recipe here. I'm pretty sure it's unfortunately forgotten. But yeah, we don't have that here in the Philippines, unfortunately. We don't have like a special dish with fried rice on it.
a little bit differently. We're gonna head into the kitchen to see how it's done. Under here is a deep pan, and inside of it there is over 125 pounds of beef. From here he's gonna pop off the lid and we're gonna see the beef inside. Oh, not at all what I expected. It's so watery. Every time I've seen plov or palau, the meat is
I'm pretty sure this is like broth style. I'm pretty sure you can make that water into like a soup broth.
kind of steamed, but here it's been boiled for a few hours. The first and most crucial step. He's removing all the big meat chunks from this pan. Right now he's separating it according to the body part. So he's putting some on this plate, he's putting some in this pot right here. Once all of it is organized and removed, he's going to be able to remove the small bones that have fallen off the meat during this braising process. Now that our deg is clean, it is time to build up the palau, starting with a thin layer of carrots to insulate the pan from the meat. The next step is dumping all that clean meat back into the deg. He has to place each piece perfectly so it can balance well with the heat and with the rice. It's a puzzle of protein. Time for the broth. Oh, it smells like a nice beef crock pot. Now it's time to introduce some new ingredients. Up first, the carrot. Next up, he's putting in raisins. And now
I never even thought of that, because here in the Philippines, raisins are just put on bread. That's it. We don't even do anything about raisins. And sometimes we put it on the macaroni and stuff, which actually does taste good. Sometimes there are cases where they also put it on, like, I guess, ginagmay, which is usually like just beef, sometimes pork with, carrots and potatoes, which is my favorite. That's my all-time favorite, man. You just put meat and put carrots and potatoes. That's everything.
Leaves for a cigarette. So I thought he was coming out here for a smoke, but no, he came out here to light up the gas stove.
The stove slowly heats up. Finally, the rice, the true hero of this operation.
Whoa. Oh, whoa. That's so weird. That's very fascinating. Also, the rice is very long. I never seen that long of a rice. The rice in our stuff is pretty tiny, like almost the size of my nail. And yeah, that's the length of it, for that matter. But yeah, in this case, it's actually very interesting. Like they put the broth and the rice, which is actually a raw rice.
Marches to the front lines. Salt and cumin follow as reinforcements. Now the fire does its work. Afghanistan's palau comes in many forms, each with its own meaty twist. But this one is the crown jewel, rich, meaty rice cooked to perfection.
2 hours has passed, and at last it is time to reveal the final palau product.
This is Kabuli palau.
The rice has steamed up beautifully. Look at these long grains, raisins, the carrots. Now he is making my portion of palau, the biggest portion possible on this platter right here. Starts with steamed rice. He hits it with that giant piece of beef, and then he puts some smaller pieces of beef on the outside. Slowly, he starts to reveal the carrots and raisins. And that, my friends, is the final product. It looks amazing. Let's go try it out. All right, folks, our final meal of the day, here it is, Afghan palau. The way they prepared it here, it's pretty different than what I've seen in other locations. It's more simple, but I love what they're doing with these big chunks of beef. And that is what we're going to be building up to for this meal. We have the palau, but we have a couple other things here.
I also love like their tables and stuff. They're very low on the ground, and you only have a mat to sit on, because that's actually a very efficient way to actually sit down on a table. It's actually very fascinating.
Pickled.
It's like the Japanese style, or the Chinese style, or the Asian style, where you just sit on the floor, and then you have like a table and stuff. Very interesting.
Try that later. Right here, Uzbek bread. So I've actually seen this type of bread being made before in Uzbekistan. It's gorgeous. Then there's a plate of beans. Probably they mix this with the rice, but I'm just gonna go beans. British people will go crazy for this. It's just beans.
Yeah, you can go out with beans. I also love beans, but this type of beans, I'm like, because sometimes the beans are actually too soft. You know, I love string beans, but if you put a potato on it, tomato on it, I love it. Tomato and potato and beans, that's beautiful.
To our palau, our most expensive meal of the day. This is a double portion and it costs only $10. That's remarkable. Ideally, you want that rice to be absolutely saturated in the fat from the beef and the oil. This place, they are so proud.
That's how we eat in the Filipino food. We always like scoop up and then we have this like, you know, rice and food. That's how we usually. That's why we typically eat our food with our hands on.
Of their oil. The oil they're using, sesame oil. That is what makes this place stand out from the others.
Interesting.
The raisins just offer this hit of sweetness. It pairs perfectly with that really heavy rice. The carrot looks beautiful. I'm a big fan. Next, I want to get into smaller pieces of beef. It's so tender, and the fat and the tissues have really broken down, but I gotta say, it's not much flavor. Let's hit it with a little bit of salt. Pablo Escobar over here. Some red chili powder and a mystery powder. Now we're gonna take another piece. The salt and the seasonings just bring out even more flavor. That's exactly what it was missing. Before we get to this giant piece of meat, I do want to try this. A pumpkin pickle. I've never heard of anything like it. I didn't know a pumpkin could be a pickle. It tastes like a Korean radish that's been boiled. Very sour, one note. It's a nice contrast to everything here. To wash it down, we've got this. Wow. Let's see what wow tastes like. Oh, okay. This is Afghan Mountain Dew. Very sugary. Kind of goes nice with something like this. Next, the meat. The meat is just literally fall off the bone soft. So I'm gonna take a little bit of rice in my hand, some raisins, put the meat on top of it. This is a very good day. Amazing. And that meat is just so beefy, so fatty.
And I feel so sad right now. I wish I can eat like my food right now. I need to finish this video right now, man, because I'm hungry. And also my food today is just like canned foods. I just eat canned food most of the time because I don't have anything else here. You know, I'm a college student, unfortunately. So hopefully you can subscribe to me and pay my food, man. Pay my food. Goddamn.
Hi.
Unknown to me at the time, my new neighbor to the right is a member of the Taliban,
How you doing?
with his rifle resting just out of frame.
Salam.
Salam to you.
Thank you.
Perhaps that explains why he keeps stealing glances at my crew and me.
How you doing? Are we interrupting you? Okay. This is obviously meant for a group, but I feel
I didn't know that. But it's actually pretty interesting.
like an Afghan king right now. And the bread, I bet it's delicious. So that is Afghan palau, and that is our 8th and final street food of the day. But we still have one thing left to do, and that is adding up all the food throughout the day to see if we spend over $100. All right, folks, so we have just left the final restaurant, and fun story, moments after we stopped shooting, the man who sat next to me was holding a rifle. He was pretty fast and loose with it. I wasn't a big fan. These guys, at the last second, said, hey, you didn't film us, right? And I said, absolutely not. Gotta go. Take care. I tell you that story in order to tell you this. This is not a normal place. There's no country on earth, I think, that has the dichotomy you will find here in Afghanistan. On one side, you have jovial, outgoing people. On the other side, you have beheadings. So I'm still not sure what to make of this place, and I'm learning more day by day. Luckily, we got our
You mean chicken beheadings, right? Right?
there was no issue, but it just was a reminder, and I see these reminders constantly where I interact with people. Things are normal until they're not. So if you're seeing me having a fun little romp in Afghanistan and you think you should come here too, the reality is different. I can just tell you this, we're not able to show you the full reality of what it's like to be here on camera, because those moments we can't film, and if we did, we would have much bigger problems. Oh wait, but Sonny, did you spend $100 on street food today? Doing math? Boom, this much. I really didn't think we would get there, and then guess what? We didn't. Today was an
I love like how honest he is when it comes to like you know, like seeing this and stuff. But I don't know why. If you're the Taliban, if you're thinking like people are like recording and stuff, this would be very good for I guess foreign based, I guess, you know, like I guess tourism based advertise, I guess. But here, that's why here in the Philippines, you know, we also have like tourism as our majority of our like economic wise and stuff. it's actually very fascinating in that cases too. But yeah, when it comes to this, man, I can also understand, they're like a very extremist base, I guess, army and stuff. So I can understand why they try to censor all of this.
Adventure getting to explore the unique street food of Afghanistan. Some of it, it was on the cheaper side, and so I could see why it might not be as delicious, but some of it was outstanding. I would say my favorite dish from the day, the palau. Big, giant chunks of beef that have been braised and made tender and soft over hours of cooking. Very nice.
Oh, I guess that's the end of the video, friends. But yeah, friends, that's so cool. I think it's so cool to see like the marketplace. It's pretty familiar here in the Philippines too. Like a lot of people just walking around in the city streets and very busy too. But here in the Philippines, there's like a lot more cars than usual, than a lot of people. Like that is actually pretty dense. There's like literally like a lot of people. Even like when I see the highways, there's still like a lot of people. I can't believe like there's a lot of people when it comes to their cities. Here in the Philippines, there are always like more wider streets for cars and stuff. So I guess it's actually pretty fascinating, like to see like how they are like how like a lot of people are actually in Afghanistan and stuff. Like they're very dense and stuff within their cities, and actually pretty fascinating like how much a lot of the people there, especially like the videos and stuff. I'm pretty sure I never see a single woman in that video. Not until like they expressively like say like, oh, these are like the women in the videos and stuff, because they can't record them in the stuff, and it's also like pretty rare for them to be seen on the streets. It's actually very fascinating to see like their rules and laws after like the US now like I guess take back away from Afghanistan and stuff. So it's actually very fascinating to see that side. I always wonder like what happens before and after the Afghanistan and the Taliban take over from the the nation and stuff. It's actually very fascinating. So yeah, friends, thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you can leave a subscribe to my YouTube channel, and yeah, I'm actually still going to watch more of the Afghanistan stuff from the side. So yeah, friends, thank you for watching. I'm pretty excited actually next video. So yeah, friends, thank you for watching, and good evening.